Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of the unofficial Redsun.tf podcast. I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Sui Soldier.
Greetings, brother.
And for this episode as a guest, we have our server moderator, Zane.
Yo, what's up? I'm Zane. How you doing?
It is wonderful to be having you here today, Zane. And I'll get a little bit more onto, the importance of that in a minute. But just to start initially, I think it's fantastic to have you on. You are one of our most active, moderators in terms of, community content and fulfillment, stuff like that. And in general, I think your work has been kind of a big inspiration for me and Sui to attempt something like the podcast at all.
Yeah, I'm actually glad to be here and glad to hear that because usually I don't have high thoughts about myself, so to hear that I actually inspired this was quite a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, me and Sui had a pretty good idea and vision for the podcast, but I'm not sure we would have really attempted and went through with it fully if we hadn't seen that, community stuff outside of the game itself, didn't work. We hadn't seen that this was a thing that was possible. Well, we might not have been as enthusiastic to try, and I, really appreciate, really all you've done for the server, both in and out of Artifictional.
Yeah, I just do my best to keep my people entertained.
That's certainly a way to look at it. Alright, as for news in this week of Redsun, as far as I know, we don't have anything major to cover, that Zane himself could not already cover with this. That was kind of a rude way to put it. Sorry, but our only major piece of news this week, my point is the start of the voting for the June 2024 division of Artifictional.
Yep, the epic return to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which we haven't seen since January of last year.
I was about to say,
Yes.
I think that's the oldest one I remember,
Yeah, oldest. It was the first.
Really? It was the first?
Yeah, well, in terms of games, the Smash Bros. Ultimate was what started it all. The first one was back in 2022, so basically this tournament's gone on for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, okay, that makes a whole lot more sense why that's the first one in my memory now. That is the first one.
Yeah.
So that makes sense of that. I can't say I myself have been a big player or participant in the Artifictional, and as I've whimmed about with Sui just about every episode that we've talked about the Artifictional, I just don't know what maps I'd pick, man. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Honestly, you could just do what Jan does and pick random.
That would go hard. I should probably do that for this betting period.
Yeah, I mean, heck, we're still open till the 29th, so you still got time to enter.
Yep, so we still have time from the 29th if you've not entered. Again, it is started on the 15th of the month, and you are able to enter from whenever this comes out until the 29th. I sincerely hope we get this out before the 29th. That would be just
That would
about
be
the
the
worst
best.
look we could have.
Yeah, right?
I'd have to cancel the podcast. Unless I or Sui are mortally injured in the next day, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be good.
What is it with you and me dying?
When have I ever mentioned you dying?
All the times, and you're like, oh, we're gonna do a special broadcast at the podcast for when Sui dies.
In what exactly?
Okay, look, I
In
mentioned that
PS2,
once,
in
and the
real
point
life?
of the point of that message was I wouldn't do the podcast without you. So I'd probably milk one more episode out of your death, and then I'd leave.
Okay, then.
We're moving on from that. Death is a sad topic. I hope nobody ever dies again. But yes, Smash Bros. Was the winner for that one, and to my knowledge, I believe now would be the period where you enter your fighter, your color, and what maps you would like.
Yeah.
Alright.
Also,
And-
backup maps in case your maps can't be picked.
Interesting. Is there any maps? Well, I guess it's kind of early to be starting our interview questions, but this is more of a general interest question. Is there any maps in recent memory that come to mind as something that you were told you can't do that was picked?
Well,
Uh-oh.
let's see here.
Sui's giggling. Sui's giggling right now. He's got something to fuck. He's got
Oops.
something to. What'd you do, Sui?
Yeah, what'd
Sui?
you do?
Sui, what'd you do? My friend, what did you do?
I made the mistake of entering an artifictional and coming in third.
Sui,
And,
what did you put in?
Put a map that maybe might have not been allowed, and Pierre offered to bribe to change it. And that set off an entire chain of events that almost got Zane removed, which I would like to apologize for.
Okay, slow down. We gotta hear this whole thing. Give me it from the start.
Okay.
I need the whole thing.
I got this. Okay, so this was during one of the older artifictionals. Basically he had 2 maps at the same mode in this pick. So I switched one out. I was gonna switch one out for Bandicoot Arabia initially. And then Pierre decided to bribe me to not do Bandicoot Arabia and instead do Koth Wub Wub Wub. He gave me an unusual for that. So I was trying to do the innocent thing and just keep the people updated and say, hey, this is what happened. And then eventually Mikush came on, switched the map, and then I was like, oh, hey, look, everybody, he bribed a fucking unusual for this. And like, honestly, it was a whole chain of events. And I was able to talk myself out of it, but yeah, that was something that, yikes.
What? Huh?
Bleh.
What?
Sorry, Zane.
Okay.
I forgive you. Don't worry. I don't hold grudges unless you've done something to actually wrong me.
That's the craziest story.
It is
But,
a crazy story.
Yeah, here you go, Jolly.
Whatever we talk about for the next hour and a half will not be as amusing as that, so we might just cut the podcast here, but
Hey,
I got like you took a bribe and he nearly got removed from the server like that.
I mean,
Goddamn.
this was old artifictional, like, this is before I was mod.
yeah, I think this was back before I had other games in the artifictional.
Yeah, it was just Smash.
Yeah, it was just Smash at the time, and back then I had various ideas of gimmicks in Smash, and then eventually, as we added more games to the artifictional, people started voting for Smash less and less, so I took those extra options out and just went for games instead.
Well, hopefully we reintroduce bribing as a mechanic in future artifictionals. Interesting to hear all that, though. I can already see, let's see how many people, looks like about 12, 13, and I'm not
What,
counting the specific, but just people who have already entered.
Yeah, we currently have a total of 17 people in this month's
Oh
artifiction.
god, I was really far off. That's good, that saves me trouble in posts putting up a, hey Jolly here, I miscounted again. It was
Yeah.
actually very close last episode counting the forums. I believe it was like 53. And I counted 55, so that's pretty close.
Next month's game is going to be WWE 2K24, so I'm looking forward to that.
Didn't somebody buy that for you a little while ago, if I'm
Yeah.
recalling?
Yeah, it was Pighead.
Yeah, Pierre. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him mentioning that. That was rad of him. Very rad of him.
Yeah, it was very rad of him. Yeah, I've been messing around with the game, and, well, let's just say it's got a big old roster, a whopping 100 male fighters alone.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've unlocked The Undertaker, but I don't have The Rock. So, I feel like that's going to be a mission of mine to unlock the rock before I do that, because
Yeah.
you got to have the rock.
I was kind of curious how that game specifically would go, since I think a large part of the WWE games, at least from what I've seen, is like making funny, goofy fighters.
Yeah, there
and
are
having to do
custom
funny
fighters.
stuff.
Yeah, there are custom fighters, but I'm mainly going to be using the main roster of fighters. Like, if Soul Calibur 6 won, then we'd be using the custom fighters, because that one has more balance to it, because you're just making custom characters that are templated off the already existing character.
Mm. Yeah. But yeah, I have a very good selection of games, and it's good to see Smash Bros. Entered again. It's certainly a game where you will not be running out of options for characters to pick. I might throw my own in somewhere in here. I see Wario's already taken. That's rather unfortunate. I don't know, throw in like a DDD or something.
Oh yeah, Chewbacca took Wario.
I saw. This is another check in our long-lasting rivalry.
Yeah, you should have seen the people trying to compete for Kazuya.
I can see a lot of the DLC fighters got eaten up immediately. Which is...
Sora hasn't. You can pick Sora.
Never played a Kingdom Hearts, I'll be real honest with you.
Well, then it's a perfect pick. You don't know what you're getting into. It's a total gamble.
Good pick. That's a good point. That's really honestly a good point. I will consider that. I also like that Spindle clarifies Joker from Persona 5.
I know, right?
Like, there's another option. What do you mean by that, Spindle?
I guess I guess we'll have to ask Spindle later about that.
Dude's playing multiverses. This is Smash this time around, though.
Yeah.
Crazy. God, I remember. I've heard that game came back recently, actually.
Yeah. Not sure if it has AI fighting or not. It's something I'll have to check.
All I've heard is that the game is in like a way more buggy state than when it last was available to play.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Like, I believe the funniest thing I saw was somebody tweeting out that it's the only game to go from a beta to an omega. Crazy. But, yeah, funny stuff to think about. But yeah, I'll make sure to throw my hat in the ring. Will you be throwing your hat in the ring this time, Sui, with legal map options that do not involve bribery? Sui?
I already have.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking dense. I apologize. Yeah, there. I literally read that 4 times and I forgot.
K Rule, baby. Black K Rule from day one.
Woo!
Yep.
Alright, good picks. Alright. Well, I'll make sure to think about that and put that in, which again, I will reiterate. Sorry, when this episode comes out, you will have until the 29th to finish your betting, your entries, your yada yada. So make sure you do it. The more people we get, the more fun it is in some sense. The more opportunity to get silly maps.
Yep.
Alright. With that, I believe we can more properly get to our interview questions and what all we have to say. Mainly the interview. Mainly the interview questions that we have prepared for you, Zane. There will be a few that me and Sui have to give ourselves that, we'll think of, fill in some holes. But generally we do like to start off with some community questions, and we did get a few this time. Not as many as we'd seen in previous ones, though I think that is just a case of me taking a break last, 2 weeks ago from an episode, and people forgetting the podcast existed for a minute. Oopsie daisy.
Don't worry. Maybe you could have me here again. We can
Oh no, it's fine. It only affects you.
Okay.
No. Sorry, that's violent. I am in a state of violence today. I need to cool down.
Oh, damn, play some GTA. That's how I saw my need for violence.
I've never actually played TCA, honestly.
Yeah, I play it just to blow stuff up.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I got was like the real fun in it. I mean, I'll probably play 6 when it comes out because everybody will be playing 6 when it comes out, and it's probably going to be the only game to come out that year. So
Possibly.
oh, it wasn't 2025, was it? It's later. Am I like having a moment?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't
Maybe.
checked up on GTA 6 news.
I don't know. This is why we need a Jamie, is what I say. It's because
Yeah.
I like to run my mouth, and I'm not able to actually check if the things are true because my browser makes silly, funny, magical sounds when I hit the enter button. Like the one I just spammed about 20 times in a row for you audio listeners. That magical sound effect. And that's not good for professionalism. So I try not to do Google searches in the middle of our little episodes. If I ever find a way to turn that off, though, I will be getting on that. I will be Jamie and Joe Rogan, so to
It's
speak.
called Use Firefox.
We're not having a Firefox conversation right now.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
let's go into questions. And the funny thing is, we had a lot more generalist questions that normally me and Sui would be asking from our asking body of people this time around. So, without further ado, I think we will get into some of these questions. With first, Pokemon posed this question: where did you get the idea for Artifictional? And which division would you say has been your favorite?
Okay. To first answer this question, the idea for the Artifictional mainly came from when I finally had completed and gotten all the Smash DLC. My mother was talking about getting me a Christmas gift. She wanted something physical to give me, so I figured, okay, well, what if I had a capture card that would actually help with things that I could record? And then they eventually came to me. What if I were to do a Smash tournament with AIs and use that as a way to get people to pick maps? So generally, it came from a Christmas gift that I eventually was going to put to good use. So mainly, yeah, the idea for the art fictional was making a Christmas gift have good use. And as for which division I've done as my favorite, I'd probably say August 2023, because that was the first time we ever hit the player cap on an artifictional.
Oh, man. I didn't remember that one hitting it initially, but now I'm remembering, like, yeah, that one went kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was the first time we hit the max, and that was the first time I did top 4 instead of top 3, because Hunger Games Simulator can have up to 48 players.
It's kind of, on that note, it's kind of crazy how, like, what would be the right word for? I don't think prevalent is the word I'm looking for, but how much of a cultural importance Hunger Games Simulator is to every little fandom I've been in, every circle. That's just a fun thing to do. Let's put all of our funny characters into this and watch them maul each other or kiss. Like, it's very amusing how universal it is, especially since I do not know anything about Hunger Games.
Neither do I. I just found the simulator one time from GameCube, and he was all like, hey, you should totally use this for an artifictional. I'm like, okay.
Those ones are always fun. They have other ones on there too, on that website, if I'm recalling. Like, they have one that's like Survivor, and I believe they also have one that's like Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
There's one that's a cooking show. I'm not 100% sure it's Hell's Kitchen, but there is one on that site that is Hell's Kitchen, or not Hell's, something cooking.
I could only imagine it's ran by an AI Gordon Ramsay, who does nothing but insult the people when they get eliminated.
It's okay, we do that enough to each other. I don't think we need the robot to do it.
You never know. Sometimes those robots can get some pretty hard insults.
Yeah, that sounds funny as hell.
No, I don't think you can accurately have a robot replicate the hatred for Europeans that other Europeans have. I don't think it's happening.
You never know.
They lack the skill, they lack the talent. They're just not skilled. It's an unskilled workforce. That's the truth of it. But yeah, it's interesting to hear. It's good that you put that to use.
Yeah.
We had a similar question. I'm trying to see who it was from. Believe it may have been Windflow? Yes, it was Windflow. Windflow specifically asked what's been your favorite event that you've hosted for Red Sun, and to diversify answers, I presume we mean like Red Sun events, not necessarily artifictional, but anything not artifictional. If you can say you have fun. Because you have done some hosting outside of artifictional.
Yeah, just not that much. So honestly, I'd say the last birthday event I had, but maybe the event I do look back mostly on was was when we tried to look for all the clues for the secret code to Jevil. That we were trying to get the secret badge for it. And then Mikush got on and beat us to the punch, so I eventually went on and did the same thing for US. So the Jevil hunt was actually pretty good because we got almost all the clues, but there was one we couldn't get because the last clue is RNG dependent in turtle attack tied to one of the special items. Thank you, Alex.
Womp womp.
It's always Alex.
It is.
It's always Alex. We put Alex is doing this shit in for like a very good reason. You really can trace everything back to him.
Yep.
Alright. Let's see. I guess going back to the other question from Pokemon Pasta. They ask if you've had any plans or ideas for an art of non-fictional, they call it, and clarify that by saying, like, a tournament with actual people.
Okay, so this one has crossed my mind before, but basically, like, I first tried this when Mario Party 5 first won the vote, where, like, we could do this with actual people. Well, the issue there is ping issues, scheduling conflicts. There's a lot of bullshit that requires that you need to go right for that. So the short answer for an art of non-fictional, it's not happening. I am not doing it unless the stars align.
Interesting. I definitely feel like there's some things that would be easier to do on, you know. I feel like Mario Party is just about the worst place to start with trying to figure that out to be 100%. And I mean, I'm sure there's some mediums where it might work out well.
Yeah, but like I said, the stars gotta align for that.
Yeah, it's a lot more convenient for everybody.
Yeah,
and the other benefit is that everybody can watch the whole time, without some people needing to lock in or prepare or practice or whatnot. Everybody can watch the full stream and be involved in the full incident log to come. And I think that's fun. I think that's its own little benefit. Let's see. That's all for Windflow's questions, and it's all for Pokemon Pastas. Martin covers a couple other general questions, in which they clarify they are covering general questions. Thank you very much to Martin. And they firstly ask a common question that me and Sui normally end up asking, but how did you find out about Red Sun and TF2 in general?
Okay, so TF2 was just one of those games I had gotten when my best friend, who I will name as Gary, because
the guy with the mod?
Okay, he actually got mistaken for that person one time.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Yeah, I know. But basically, he basically had won a tournament where he got 2 codes that were that covered all Valve games. So TF2 got added to my library through that code. So I have a code where whenever Valve releases a new game, it's automatically added to my library. I don't have to pay for anything Valve puts out. So if they ever do put out Half-Life 3, it's mine.
I was about to say, this is, frankly, I think that's the worst publisher you could get that for.
I know, right? But so eventually I did a little bit of casual, all that, and I found out about Red Sun, believe it or not, through the fucking Flowey map.
Yes, bitch, welcome.
Yeah, it was my first exposure to custom game modes in general, so I eventually stuck around, even after getting a very short-lived 1-year ban from one of the former mods for being a quote-unquote kid on mic. I was 20 at the time.
It's crazy to think about that. Like, damn, like a full year?
Yeah, that's how long.
What's the point of a? Let me stop for a second. What's the point of a year ban but not a perma ban? Like, what's accomplished there?
It's supposed to wait. According to Scorda, from when I looked through the old ban appeal things, it's a year long to wait for the chance of maturity. Because kids on mic weren't allowed back then, and that was a very loose term because I have a varied voice. You probably couldn't guess that I was, in fact, 27 years old through this voice.
No, I couldn't have guessed. I would have guessed above 18. I don't know if I would have gone above 22.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, not an insult. Plenty
Don't
useful.
Don't worry.
In general, my whole, like, perception of age, honestly, on Team Fortress 2 is such a weird thing. But I guess also, nowadays, we're kind of, you know, this is something I've kind of noticed for a long time, but I don't think we really get children playing TF2 anymore, and it's kind of weird.
They've all moved to Call of Duty.
Yeah, I guess, like, they've all moved elsewhere, but I mean, it's like, nobody knew, we didn't get anybody new this time around. It's just kind of strange when I think, like, back in the day, I felt like it was a very prevalent thing, and, you know, it's just kind of weird that, you know, in every, like, community space I've been in, I really don't see that anymore, you know, like, even the few times I have dicked off to, like, Skyle for shits and giggles, like, it's not even there, man. It's not even there. And it's strange to think about how prevalent it was for the longest time, and I guess it's just, the game's not interesting anymore, you know? We're just not good enough.
Well, also consider the fact that Valve and basically any game they make haven't been in the zeitgeist for more than a decade at this point. Because, like, if you asked any young person back then, like, oh, how did you get into TF2? It was probably because they saw the Heavy doing funny things in Gmod. But, you know, the times have moved on. TF2's kind of stagnated. We're not getting anything new except for, like, Dota. So, you know, like you said, Call of Duty's getting updated.
Yeah.
Fortnite's getting updated. Roblox exists still.
Yeah. Or God forbid you step into my shoes and play Dead by Daylight so much.
Oh.
But even then, it's still getting updated. So the point still stands.
Dead by Daylight makes TF2's current state look great.
Right.
But then again, maybe it's for the best that we don't have literal single-digit age kids joining a game where there is unregulated chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the correct answer. It's just kind of, it just feels weird. It's just something I associated with my TF2 circles and communities, and like they're gone. It's so strange.
I'll just say it, like, speaking from experience, playing TF2 with unregulated internet access is a very quick way to mentally age yourself by at least 10 years.
Yep.
So maybe it's for the best.
It's probably for the best. Redsun mentally regresses people, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's just like an extra little tangent I went on. That was not super important, and I apologize for my yabbering. But yeah, that's interesting to hear. Let's see, what else did Martin posit? So, a lot of these, like, if there was one thing you could do or add to the server, questions are very interesting because, I'm in a voice call with 2 server moderators. Who would do that? So, on that note, if you're allowed to talk about that, what is something you would add to the server if possible? Asks to Martin.
One thing I'd add to the server, well,
Huntsman
I-
Hell. Huntsman Hell.
I don't know what that is.
Huntsman
but,
Hell, but whispered.
No.
I think
Okay,
I might
well,
mix it up.
personally, I prefer one of the racing game modes, like Redsun Kart or 2-4 Turbo. As much as I understand those wouldn't be added, they were still one of the game modes I look forward to the most when I actually saw them active in development.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked and seen about it since. I think Mikush has talked a few times before about he didn't feel like it was a particularly good fit for rotation, and I kind of get that. I do get why people feel that way, for sure.
Yeah, like, I'd say at least just let it be used for event rotation. Like, events.
Is it not, like, stuck in the corner somewhere in the server files? Is it being completely scrubbed?
Not from what I've seen. I could probably hop on TF2 right now and see if it's there.
Oh, so if somebody, I don't know, wanted to do something in an artifictional.
Well, it's yeah, like if they wanted one for,
You know, if somebody that was considering who hadn't entered, was not, had not entered yet and was maybe considering doing that, how available are those maps?
I don't know, but I don't set them unless I am specifically allowed to.
Would you do it for an unusual?
Don't do it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was about to say show me the money, but yeah.
I let the voices. You're getting fired. We're fucked. We can't put out this episode.
We?
Yeah, we! Me and you, we're tied together in this, buddy.
Yeah, like I would still at least act first and refund if it wasn't possible.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm just jesting though. I surely wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, let's not have another repeat of the Pierre incident.
Alright. This one's a bit of a crazily worded question. Another from Martin. Do you have any interest besides gaming? Which is like kind of violent, though. Like, right?
Yeah, like I like going on walks. I sometimes I do a little artistic things. Like I had these ceramic things I still need to paint. Just something I found at a thrift store when we were going treasure hunting.
Treasure hunting?
Yeah, basically, it's our turn for like thrift or shopping. We usually find these little treasures that we like to take home, like a cool little keyboard or a pair of headphones with cat ears on them. Little treasures, you know?
You made it sound like you were plundering an ancient ruin, and you happened to find some, like, pots in the corner of a long-lost civilization. But, yeah, I mean thrift stores are fun stuff. That's been my greatest pleasure in America so far, is going to very awful thrift stores, but, like, there's good shit in them.
Yeah, good shit for low prices.
There's so much stuff. There was like a cupboard at the nearest one to me the other day. It was like $12 for just like a fully, like, nothing was broken, all the shelves were in their cupboard. And I had nowhere to put that, and I couldn't carry that by myself. It's like, goddamn, that's a full fucking cupboard, dude. Just shit like that. Like, I think that's crazy. I don't get how people throw that stuff away.
Yeah, I found a whole PlayStation 2 at a thrift store once.
That's crazy. How much was it?
What do you mean? How much was it? We walked away with it. It was in the donor bin. They wouldn't miss
Oh,
it.
oh,
Bruh.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a couple thrift stores though. I think one of them near me has always had this sign outside it that says Xbox One $200. At least like as long as I've been here. I didn't. It's the only one I've ever seen with like signs advertising the items within outside, but just fun stuff like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. Martin did have a couple other questions go along with that.
Yeah.
One of them was any games you'd love to see in Artificial that haven't been played?
Well, I technically love all my games equally. Though if I did have to pick, I probably would say Worms Armageddon, because I had set up a lot of custom stuff for that, gotten some TF2 voices in there. It's basically, I have all this cool custom stuff ready to go, but I'm just waiting for Worms Armageddon to eventually win the vote. So it is the one. So basically, I would pick Worms Armageddon in that case.
Didn't it get played a little bit ago?
Open
Am I
Warfare
crazy?
2 was played.
Oh. I don't blame myself for that one. That's confusing.
Yeah.
Can't blame myself for that one. But yeah, it's interesting to hear. Listeners, keep that in mind for July, maybe? Question mark?
Now, July's WWE, so it's something they'll have to keep in mind for all.
I knew what I meant, though. That's what's
Yeah.
important. I knew what I
I
mean.
mean, they can change their votes. They still can't change their votes to Worms Armageddon.
You can
Wink,
still change
wink.
your vote. I'm just
I doubt it'll happen, but I'm
saying.
still gonna throw it out there.
I'm just saying, Spindle, I know you watch every episode. If you want to change your vote, you know, hey, you're getting approval to do it. Just saying. But yeah,
Did they even vote for this?
I don't know. I just know they listen.
Yeah,
If
they
no
haven't
one's
voted.
got my back, I know Spindle's got my back. Sui, can I get a thank you for Spindle?
Yeah.
Crazy. Alright, let's see what else Tamartin would say. Tamartin had quite a few questions around, and I do appreciate that. Other question, before the last one, was, what do you think of bringing on a second caster? Someone that you can voice talk to during the stream, or someone that could take over entirely?
Well, an idea for having an ally would basically, again, depend on scheduling and stuff. But I won't be against having a co-host. So, someone to take it over entirely is going to be another story, because they would need all the games that I currently have in the vote. So, having somebody to talk to while I'm running the Artifictional would be good. I could probably sit in the voice chat and we could just chat together. Or I could just make it public and have other people join, but that would be total chaos. So, basically, I will think on that. I will definitely think on that.
I've had similar thoughts before on the latter point of doing something like an open podcast at some point, maybe for a very special milestone. But yeah, there's like obvious issues with that. There are, yeah, that may not go over as well as we may hope. The potential consequences do not line up with the potential advantages and funny moments.
Yeah. Like, at the very least, WWE 2K24 is going to have its own built-in announcers for the match, so at least I won't be able to have to say much then.
Yeah.
I will
Well, I mean,
technically
hey.
have a second caster.
If you needed the,
If you need anybody,
Yeah,
Sue's
I'll keep you. Yeah, I'll keep you two in mind. Maybe I can have both of you as my casters.
and maybe that'll be a podcast episode one week. That's an idea. That might be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Alright,
you two. Yeah, we could just sit in the VC together while we watch Smash Ultimate AI's battle.
that might be funny. I will keep that in mind, actually.
Okie dokie.
All right. As for their last question, they ask if you are happy with the artifictionals and if there's anything you wish to improve.
Well, I am currently happy with the artifictional. It's done much better than I originally anticipated it to do, and every month I always think to myself, is this going to be a good one? And I'm always blown away by the fact that it is. So many people always enter. I have my regulars, sometimes the people that enter and they're banned, which has happened very rarely. Anything I wish to improve? Well, probably just to get more of the word out there. Maybe outside of the Discord, maybe have a regular advertisement in the server whenever an artifictional is up. But basically, nothing I'd actively want to press on to the developers since they're busy enough as it is.
Interesting. That's good to keep in mind. I have certainly thought the same on that latter point of better ways to push the podcast. I've never really been sure about what's the best way to do that, though I'm honestly very happy with what we get in the first place.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, people that do watch, and it's cool to be able to have such wonderful guests on the podcast. To be honest, I don't know where we're going after you, Zane. I don't know what other ground we've got to cover.
You could always have me on again. Maybe get more questions that time around.
Sorry, I swallowed my water wrong.
Damn.
Alright, any...
Don't die now.
I'm okay. Okay.
You're almost there.
Shut up, dickhead. Okay. I'm okay. I need to cut that out in post. Oh my god. But yeah, I think I've mentioned it honestly before with, our wave interviews, but we kind of got 42 and Miku back to back. Those were kind of the big endgame goals for the podcast. And we got those, back to back on, episode 5. And as much, I'm super happy to have done that, but it's also goddamn, where are we going now? I'm very happy to have you on, Zane, though. Don't get that message twisted. I'm very happy to have you on. It's just something that always comes to mind whenever I think about guests.
Hey, you're good. Hell, I might be a very literal person, but I'm still learning to not take something so literally.
Yeah. Do not take that in any weird way. You're one of the highest honors we could possibly bring on. As we spoke before, you were very inspirational in the kind of conception of the podcast.
Yeah.
So it really is great to have you. And it's good to have moderators in general on the podcast.
Yeah.
You guys always have very good insight into the server.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see what other questions we have from this list. Alright, we have a couple from Jay. I have a couple, and that'll close out the last additional community questions we have to speak on. Their first question is, befuddlingly, how many Zanes does it take to change a light bulb?
It takes 3. 1 to screw in the light bulb, 1 to put the dome over the light bulb because I learned how to install lights, and the third one to pack a bowl after the whole thing is done.
Is it a bowl?
Lit.
Liddy.
I feel like I'm missing a reference, but that's
THC.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell this out more clearly for you. It's THC.
THC?
Yes.
What does that stand for?
You'll have to forgive her, Zane. She's not familiar with the game.
Don't worry.
What game?
If you want more answers, use Google.
I would
You'll
use
find
Google
out when
if
you're
it
older,
didn't make
Jolly.
the flowery, funny magic sounds when I
You'll get used
entered.
to it.
Whatever, I'll look it up on my phone when we go for the next question. I don't have my cell phone on me. Damn it. Okay, I guess we're not figuring it out. Next question, the first actual question,
I can't wait to see this when it goes out.
Oh
I know,
my
right?
God. Oh my god. I don't know, I'm getting scared. I feel like this is something I do know, I'm just not remembering. Can I get a hint?
No, go on. Next question.
No, like, this is gonna be a really bad look for me. So
All right. Let's answer your question with another question.
motherfucker.
What is Snoop Dogg's favorite thing?
You do know who Snoop Dogg is, right?
Yeah, it's the guy who was, that was the Twitch streamer. He played FIFA.
Words cannot express the pain I feel across my face from slapping it right now.
I don't know what he does as an actual job. I just know he streamed on Twitch once, so I was like, is that the correct description?
I wake up mad now when I can't put my hands on you.
What do I say? He's the weed guy?
Yes,
Like,
there
that's
you
not
go.
a fucking job. That's not a job.
But there's the answer to what the third Zane will do.
Do you guys know what I have to put up with now?
Oh, fuck you, Suey. I'm putting out the fucking audio testing dialogue for every episode.
Yeah, we'll
Go ahead.
put that as a short blooper right at the beginning.
Nah, that'll be episode 16. No, that's crazy. I care about you a lot, Suey. Don't get it twisted. God, did I already ask the next question, or did we got too fun? We got too funny, we got too silly.
Yeah, we got too funny with the light bulb stuff. We still got 3 more questions from Jay to cover.
Alright, do you have any future plans to involve the community in other things besides the art of fictional? Which we all love you for, they clarify.
I've been thinking about trying to do that, but I don't quite know where I'd begin.
Sunday fun day?
No.
I had an idea, but I don't know.
Alright. Keep that in mind. Jay asked, what games do you play besides TF2, which I believe you've mentioned a bit before.
Yeah, we already covered Dead by Daylight, which I play on a regular basis. Let's see here, but there are some other games I cover, like Slay the Spire, which I play whenever I need a break from DBD. When I'm not rewatching Big Bang Theory. There are still some other games on my list, like Persona 5 Royal, I need to cover. Let's see here. Warhammer. I do a bit of Warhammer games from time to time.
Like the tabletop?
Not just it's like the tabletop game, but yeah, Warhammer has a lot of video games that.
Yeah, I am very much aware they are very, very, very loose with their license. I've said it before, I could probably spend a weekend and get the license for a game. I really could. I don't know what the requirements are, but it seems really easy. Whatever it is. I own quite a couple myself. And recently I actually finally got around to playing Rogue Trader, which I was basically just waiting on the big bug fix patch, and they did that a while ago, so I was like, oh, might as well. Very good stuff, by the way.
I've also been recently replaying Sonic Generations, so I get ready for Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Oh. So you're playing the original game to wait for a remake?
Yeah, just so I'm well trained for it. That's not going to help me with the shadow bits, but
I think you're missing the point of a re-release remake, maybe a little bit.
Possibly, but
I think you might be a little bit confused. That's some shit Scott the Woz would do.
I mean, true, but still.
I don't know why that comes to mind.
Like Scott the Woz just wouldn't play it at all.
No, he wouldn't.
That's some shit he would do. He would play the remake in anticipation. No, he'd play the fucking original in anticipation for the remake. Like, you would so do that.
Yeah.
Alright.
You never know what's going to change from a remake from the original. So it's best to get your knowledge up. I think the funniest moment I had from that was where I got a double KO on Metal Sonic.
Alright. And their last question is if you... I don't know if you're actually allowed to discuss this. But they ask if you had any favorite items from the recent item suggestions.
No.
And to my understanding, the server moderators, you and Sui, as well as a bunch of other people, you guys are doing the deciding.
That's more
to
on
some
the
degree.
developers.
Is it fully developer? I was not fully in the know.
I don't know if I can quite discuss it, but we used to, but now there's more of a community voice to the item suggestions.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, don't say anything that'll get you in trouble. We already told the story of one time, and I already tried to bribe you to fuck it over twice, so let's not do anything we're not supposed to. But yeah, going off of that, I think you're okay to talk about if you have anything specific that comes to mind that you like.
I haven't really looked at the item suggestions, mostly because I just like to see what comes out. I haven't really put anything out since I got DNA of the Soul in. So, I basically just have like my one precious self-made, and that was enough for me.
The battle cry. That was the slinky dude from Metal Gear.
Yeah, Monsoon. It wasn't a battle cry. It was a chat sound pack.
See, I'm stupid as fuck.
Slinky
No, you're
dude?
just
well,
yeah, Monsoon. He's not exactly a slinky, but he does. His body does come apart in a lot of pieces.
Okay.
Is it not like it's close and well? I guess not because it's not a spring, and even though it disconnects and reconnects without the properties of a spring, it would be a fair degree different.
It's more magnetic than it is spring.
Anywho, it's not fucking real technology, so how about I stop worrying about it?
Yeah. Leave it to the Metal Gear Rising fandom.
The Metal Gear... We are the Metal Gear Rising. Did you see what server we're playing on?
Yes, I do. So this is something we would have to discuss with them.
This is the Metal Gear LARP community, dude. Where do you think we are right now?
Paris?
Paris would be nice.
It would be.
No, it wouldn't.
I hear such nice things about Paris. Except for all the riots and the trash in the streets and mainly all
I've
the
been
riots.
there. No.
Oh, tell us about that.
It sucked. Let's move on.
Okay, fine. I was watching a fucking little documentary the other day about these have you ever seen a French taco?
Yes.
No, I have.
It's the craziest thing in the world. It's literally just like a quesadilla with chicken tenders. And they call it a French taco, and nobody knows why. Funniest thing. Funniest thing.
I could ask Mario. He's French.
I could ask Mario. I could. We have to have more French people, don't we?
Yeah.
Zedix
Alex, if you're watching.
Alex is French, yes, we'll have to ask
Did
him.
you say Zedix?
No.
I swear I heard Jolly say Zedix.
Nope, I'm pretty sure Zane said Zedix. I
didn't say Zedix.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Jolly, Zedix is Moroccan.
I know he is.
No, you don't. You
Yes,
just
I
called him
did.
French.
Yes, I did. You can find proof on the server of me calling him Moroccan. Actually, don't go looking for that. I've changed my mind. But
I can find proof of you saying a lot of things on the servers,
you
Jolly.
can find a lot of things. Oh god, if we scroll back far enough, you can find anything from 2021, Jolly.
I have video evidence. Reiterate.
Whoa. That's why I started editing the videos. I don't suppose you had any fun or noteworthy 2021 phase to discuss that I do not remember, Zane?
From 2021? Not that I can recall.
Seems to be everybody's dark age.
Yeah.
I did very questionable behavior.
Yep.
Glad I'm not like that anymore, though, because I get to host a wonderful podcast with the greatest co-host I could ever ask for, and the greatest guest I could ever ask for.
Uh-huh.
And with that, we do actually have all of the community questions covered. I believe I will do a little run through, check to see if I'm missing anything. It does look like Tamartin also asked if you had any ideas or plans for a bigger artifictional with bigger prizes, bigger stakes, stuff along that lines. Have you ever considered that? Like, if you were to make a special episode for the not the podcast, but special episode for the artifictional, so to speak. Have you at all considered something like that?
The idea has crossed my mind, but unfortunately I lack the finances to pull it off like I used to. So, if I ever do get a stream of income again, regardless of where it comes from, I could possibly do that. But it probably would at this moment in time, it probably would have to be something the community would have to pitch in for.
Interesting. We've had our own developments and looking around for funding. Me and Sui have talked before about wants to do, for real this time, a fashion episode with some real prizes. Stuff like that. I'm not really sure. I wonder what's a fair, price, good prize for that kind of competition for a top 3 selection. I assume the only thing that holds value is, keys.
Yeah, keys, unusual, stranges, all haunted stuff, all that fun stuff.
I could probably bid off those taunt unusual fires I unboxed on Redsun the other day. Ethan was there, he'll remember. I unboxed 2 of them. I believe it was one for the Demo Man pirate wheel taunt, where he's doing pirate things in the pirate wheel for the pirate ship. And the other one is the spy dancing with the mannequin, and I think that one actually went for something reasonable. And I would actually make a profit if I sold that. Yeah. I gambled $40 worth of crates right after, so that doesn't count for anything, but
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're all allowed to gamble a little bit.
Just a little.
Gambling's just part of who we are. Why fight it? That's what I say.
Yeah. Gamble, yeah. At least I don't have stakes for my gamble, which is probably what makes the artifictional such a big draw.
Yeah, that's part of it. I think I've discussed it a few times myself, but I do set aside some money every month for gambling. I would recommend it to everybody. Set aside $20 a month for gambling. I do 500, but that's because I'm allowed to. Set aside a little budget every month for gambling. Gambling is good for your mental health. Never forget that. Alright, and that does cover all of our community suggested questions. I would like to ask if you had any to lead with as we went into questions that maybe me and you have, Sui, for Zane. Anything that comes to mind?
Nothing on the scale of get to know you a little bit better or something like that, but it's just kind of a funny hypothetical I've had in the past.
Spit your shit.
I don't know if I ever talked about it on the podcast before, but I modded my Switch recently, and I thought it would be really funny if just for a day, maybe for April Fool's Day, I could talk to Zane, and then we could just run modded Smash just as an April Fool's joke with hundreds of new characters. You could have Jetstream Sam fighting Sans and whatnot.
Do you have a capture card?
Yes.
Hyper modded Smash would actually be a funny artifictional maybe sometime.
Yeah, it would be. I just need a picture of the roster that they got modded. Probably would have to give Sui access to the Twitch, but I'm not sure I could do that. That would be the owners to say it anonymously. On that.
I was gonna say, I believe the Redsun Twitch is a bit above your ownership. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was only given the key for it. I was not given the login. So I only have the rights to stream to it.
Interesting. Who does own it? Do we know?
Toru.
That's what I figured. I just was not sure.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Keep that in mind. That would be a funny artificial sometimes, just hyper modded Smash. I really have not kept up with the modded Smash scene in a while, which is kind of funny when modded games are kind of like my whole thing. You know, my first real experience with video games was TF2 and Source games in general, so to me, modding is just part of video games. It's as natural as it gets for my video gaming experience. It's kind of funny, I haven't really looked into it in the past, like, basically since the game came out. I hear nowadays, like, people figured out the framework for full character modding and whatnot in Ultimate. I don't know if that's true, but I've seen stuff along those lines.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but like, there's a complete Goku character with
Okay. I was about to say, I can swear I've seen Goku.
Yeah, no, like, people have been doing this for like a while. Like, there are custom characters now.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. Is there anything adding the Hunter from Monster Hunter? That'd go hard.
Yes.
It's gotta be. I still find it so weird they added the Rathalos as a boss, and they just did not add the Hunter.
Well, the Hunter is a outfit for the Mii.
Yeah, I know, but like, come on, it's such a fucking no-brainer. It is such an authentically Japanese series. I'm like shocked at Nintendo. Nobody was like, we gotta have this. Especially, you know, the close ties it has had to Nintendo consoles, the whole series. Like, outside of World, and I guess technically recently Rise has made the port, even though it was, like, for the most part, like a Switch-only exclusive for a while. The Monster Hunter series has been a very Nintendo, like, game series. So I'm just kind of surprised to see it not in Smash, and to go on a little tangent on that part, Byleth's moveset a lot makes me think how well a Hunter would go with, like, just fully kitted out all weapons, why not?
Yeah.
Although, I'll not do the whole tangent of, like, Fire Emblem and Smash. I do, like, super get why there are so many Fire Emblem characters in Smash, and it's because every Fire Emblem is, like, a different game. Like, it's not the same world, it's not related at all. It's the same reason, like, I don't know, like, it's the same with Final Fantasy, is the way I try and simplify it to people, is outside of a couple games, they are not the same universe, any of them. So I kind of get why there's so many. It makes more sense to me to represent a bunch of different things. Though, I guess Dragon Quest is a similar case, and they packaged everything in one character. Anyway,
Yep, the hero.
Yeah. God, I remember when Hero first released. That was a whole epidemic.
Yep, the RNG.
How many
He's
specials?
my man.
That checks out, actually. How many fucking specials was it again? Like 50?
36.
36. I remember watching a video on it, but I did not remember the specifics. 36 is still crazy, though. Can you name all 36? I'll give you $50 if you can name all 36 off the top of your head. That cough was too official, I take it back.
So,
That scared the fuck out of me, I'll be honest. That cough was too official, I'm sorry. I got scared.
all 36 down Bs are all specials.
No, I mean, like, name all of them. Never mind.
Name all of them?
Yeah,
Every special he has?
yeah, sure. Can you?
Okay.
Come on.
Let's hear it.
You have to know, you main him.
Hold on, I'm just trying to remember. Okay, so I guess we'll start with Up B. Up B starts with Swoosh. Right? I think Swoosh. Then from there it goes to like Kaswoosh. Or wait, no, sorry. Whoosh. swoosh is it? Yeah, whoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Side B, zap, zapple, kazap. Neutral B is frizz, frizzle, and kafrizz. And then down B, down B, there's crackle slash, acceleratle, kaklang, kamikaze, hocus pocus, oomph, psych up, hatchet man, zoom. What's the other one? Flame slash, kaklang. Am I forgetting anything else?
Whack and thwack?
Whack and thwack, that's it.
Just making shit up, dude.
Nope, though they're actual moves.
No, I'm like,
That's
you
all of them.
You could make some shit up and I'd believe you. You really could. Is my
Nope,
point.
that's all of them. If you look at a list.
I believe you. I believe you. You have no reason to spread disinformation. I'm just saying,
well.
like, you could throw in some fake ones in there, and I would just be nodding my head.
Well, you know, just wanted to get it on there that you owe me $50 after this episode ends.
I receded my offer as soon as you made that official call.
Nope, too late.
I got no. You had 4 minutes to tell me.
$50.
You had 4 minutes to void me out.
I did that in like 50 seconds.
You had a chance to tell me it didn't count 5 minutes ago. Okay, you had a chance 20 minutes ago.
Alright guys, when this episode airs, constantly spam ping Jolly to give me my money or else we riot.
True.
Gotcha.
True. No, you guys.
Especially because Jolly doesn't even play Hero.
Who's your main on Smash Ultimate then?
I have not played Smash in years. But
Poser.
whoa, calm down. But I normally play Donkey Kong and King Dedede.
Oh, okay.
I liked the monkey. He was funny. He punched people, and it did like 50 damage, and that was really amusing.
Yep.
I like the funny monkey.
Funny monkey.
Alright, on the side of that, I'm trying to think if there's any general questions that we missed that were not already something well covered by the ones we were getting from the community. Does any come to mind, Sui?
I think you got them all.
I think we honestly did.
So I'm gonna use this airtime to complete the list of ones I missed.
That's crazy. Okay, whoa, you were
Metal
asking,
Slash.
You were asking for money and you didn't have them all. That's crazy.
Sizzle, Sizz, Kaboom, Bang, and Snooze.
I remember Snooze.
Oh, and Magic Burst. And that's it.
Crazy. I was not counting that. I have no clue if that was 36 or not. I'm choosing to believe.
I wasn't counting either.
It was free for each of the non-downbeats, so it's like you only had to get like what? Like
I guess we'll have to go back and check.
I will probably have to check and post. Anywho, that is interesting to know. Yeah, I think the last I played was like... trying to recall. I think it was when Byleth came out. That was the last time I played. I was kind of just asleep after that. And I played Byleth a little because I had played Free Houses and that was fun. And what?
Wait, no, sorry. 35. Heal. That's the last one. Okay, there we go.
Crazy. Alright, let me know in a minute when you have another one to add on. But
Nope, that's it. That's all 36.
Crazy. Alright. God, I feel like I'm missing something. I guess we could ask you a few general TF2 questions too while we're here. Just some little fun, little quizzical ones to close us out. What is your favorite class? And this is a very curious question for me because for a lot of people in the community, I kind of associate your persona, what I see you as in my head, as what class I see you in the game most often. Like, I picture Cater as a spy very often. I picture Sui as a soldier. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It helps that he's named Sui Soldier, but that's not the point right now. What would be your favorite?
Well,
I'm a guess first. From the way you talk and the Z in your name, I'm feeling a strong medic.
actually, medic was the first one I tried to start with, but it never really came through. I never got through the whole steps of being a medic main.
It's an acquired taste, I suppose. Playing medic in TF2 is a lot more really to consider and think about than a healer in other games. Though, I think that's kind of what makes medic special. I don't think TF2 would work with a second healer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, my favorite class is the Pyro. I like DPS. I like burning things. It's Pyro's my boy.
Interesting.
It was my first Australian that I bought one for. I don't have it anymore, but
Are you a Dragon's Fury truther by chance? I hate
nope.
to get political, I just wanted to ask.
Nope. I alternate between stock flamethrower and the flog.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'll be keeping that in mind. What's your favorite map?
Don't have one.
Oh, come on. You gotta give me something.
Well, nothing from the stock library, but like I guess.
Crazy.
Yeah, I guess I could honestly say one of the boss maps. If I had to take a pick, I probably would say the one that got me into Redsun, Flowey. It's not overly difficult. There's no time crunch.
Ooh, not overly difficult. Well, one of the versions is quite an issue in that regard.
Yeah, one of the versions.
Yeah,
is
I think the team battle is fine. It's specifically the single-sided one. In my experience, I feel like we wipe on that one a lot.
The actual PVM.
Yeah, the actual player versus map.
Yeah, not from what I've seen, but yeah, I could definitely see why people would struggle with it. But yeah, it's just like it's the one boss map you don't have to worry about a time crunch on. Like, there's no DPS check for Flowey.
Well, maybe it's just worse now that we have like 40 players on the server, but like, I don't know. I swear, it feels brutal the last couple times I've played it.
Well, I'm planning on doing a boss rush for my next birthday event.
Oh.
So yeah, well, I'll put that to the test.
Interesting. I will keep that in mind. I should plan out my own birthday event sometime. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
It'd just be 24 hours straight Banana Bay, I'll be honest. Sorry, choking. But truth is, I am a Banana Bay truther. I love it. It is my favorite map, I think. That's would be my answer to the question. What would be your answer to the question, Sui? I don't think I've ever actually asked.
What?
What's your favorite map in the game?
Laser fight.
Good choice. Good choice. I respect that. I do respect that.
Either that or Jevil.
Interesting. Wonder when we'll get the next boss map. I've said it before, I need to fucking pay Alex and Carillion to make another one.
Yeah.
We've got Deltarune, we've got Undertale. I'm just telling you boys, if you're listening again, I'm willing to pay you for something Undertale Yellow. That's all I'm saying. I'll pay you.
Anything not to pay me.
Do anything not to pay you.
You set aside money not to pay me. You have to gamble it.
You have to understand, my monthly gambling expense is very important. keeps me sane. Alright? And you know the truth, anywho, is that 90% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big. And I'm gonna hit it big if I don't quit. That's just the truth of it, Suey. We gotta be smart, we gotta be reasonable. I believe, though, with those two little fun questions, unless we have any other fun little TF2 questions to ask, that does close out the bulk of the questions we have.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel very happy with the selection of questions and what we've had to ask. It has been a great pleasure to have you on, Zane. And while we do still have you here, I know you just spoke about your birthday event plans for Little Boss Rush, which, when would be your birthday?
November 6th.
November. That makes sense. Alright.
Yeah.
It's good here. We've got at least one event in the next 4 or 5 months. Look forward to that, Red Sun. But, you know, while we have you here, is there any other little announcements, little events, anything to share, perhaps, that you would like to take the time for?
Nothing really comes to mind, but if I had to say something, if you guys really want to see a Artifictional have a prize pool, then consider donating some of your unused items.
That might be something worthwhile. I mean, like I said, I'd be very happy pitching in those 2 unusual fires because I do not have neither of those taunts, so I do not need them. I'm happy to throw those into the pool, maybe sometime.
Send them my way. I'll see about doing something with them.
Yep, well, you heard it here first. If you have any unused items, anything like that, you'd be happy to trade off, give away, feel free to do so to Zane at whatever convenience. And once again, the entering period for the June 2024 division of the Artifictional ends on the 29th. That is the 29th. Make sure you get in before then if you are wanting to participate. There's no way we run out of characters. You're gonna be fine. Do not worry. And with that, I believe we can say we have wrapped up this little episode. It has been a wonderful pleasure to have you on, Zane, I must say.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to be on.
This will not be the last time we have you on. I can say that for certain. Sometime soon, we may be in touch again. You have been a lovely guest to have on, and again, it's just great to have somebody who has done a lot for the community, you know, even outside of the sphere of being a moderator. You've done a lot for the community, and we really appreciate that. We do.
Thank you.
It's a great thing, really, to have people who like to, you know, I guess everybody likes the concept, but people who like to and work towards spreading, you know, goodness in the community, spreading collaboration. And that whole concept really is what me and Sui started the podcast for, is to foster a kinder, more collaborative Red Sun space with, I would say intelligent conversation, but I kind of bring everybody down to my level, unfortunately.
Yeah, don't worry.
It is what it is, but it is a pleasure, truthfully, to have you here. Both me and Sui are very happy to have had you on, and we're looking forward to have you again in the future.
Yeah.
Alright, if you have any closing statements, feel free to make it. Otherwise, I believe we can conclude.
I have one statement. I've been holding this in for the whole podcast.
Oh boy.
Snooping as usual, I see.
He makes a very good point. With that, I will thank you all, audio and visual listeners. You can't visually listen. I should blow my head off. Let's try that.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's been a little while since I've touched a controller for Smash. Clarification. Hero has 30 spells, not 36. Just wanted to make that clear. Okay.
Did you owe me $50 at this point? Is this your 5th revision, dude? I need to be seeing some money for this. Alright, let's close
Oh,
this
what? So
out.
you can fucking gamble? Yeah, all right.
Okay, let's close this. Let's close this out before me and Stewie have a money dispute. I swear I pay him, guys. I swear I pay him. Thank you again, audio listeners and visual watchers, for joining us on this episode. We hope to see you again next week for another episode. But for now, thank you for listening. We love you lots.
Love you.
Come on,
Uh-huh.
Stewie. That's good enough. That's good enough.